Hi everybody, hello. Today is the day. Today's the day we're starting our Christmas Timmy journal. And, well, you all know by now, I guess, that I don't really do a lot of standard journals. I do more unstandard, is that even a word? Journals. And for this one, I'm borrowing heavily from Corey Damon. I absolutely love Corey. I love everything she does. I love her ethos. Yeah, but this journal cover, more than what's inside. What's inside is just down to me, I guess. But the cover, etc., is a Corey idea. So I've made a prototype, as I always do. That's kind of what it looks like ish, although I will make some changes. So that's the cover. This is actually a pocket. It doesn't have to be. Mr. F says it looks weird being on the left, but to me it looks right being on the left. So I don't know. So that's the cover. And then we're going to have pieces. This is... I asked Mr. F if he'd do me some coffee stained paper. And he's so busy doing everything else, I felt guilty. So I went on Etsy and I bought some coffee stained paper and printed it out, and this is it. And I'm not so sure I'm madly in love with it, to be honest. So at the moment, as we speak, he is coffee staining some paper for me. The other thing is, I think I would make it wider than that. This is just for journaling, so just to make sure there's plenty room to journal or sticky photos or whatever, I want that in. And then the journaling decorative all the way through the journal. And these are just bits. I've made it from a file folder. These are remnant bits from the file folder that I've sewn in and added to in this case. And there's the other half of it there. You can do anything you like with these. You can build on them, you know, just cover them and use them, whatever. But once again, I think I've learnt that I want them to be longer. So that's the way it goes. All of these signatures I have sewn in with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and I've left my ends quite long, just in case I wanted to put charms on them or something. You never know. You never know. But this is the prototype, and I have learnt as I've gone along. So yeah, you know, that bit's a good bit wider. More journaling. This bit is much bigger. More journaling. This is a really narrow little bit, and I quite like that actually. I don't know, there's just loads of scope to do things with it. And then it finishes with journaling. So that's kind of what we're going to make, although with some changes as I have outlined to you. That's what the spine looks like. It's 2 1/4 inches. Yep. And the front, the covers measure 6.5 by 6 1/4. Okay. And the papers that we're going to be using for this are the Tim Holtz Christmas backdrops, Christmas 2023. I think, got some Christmas 2022 on somewhere, but people asked me to do it in stuff that they could just go out and buy. So yeah, that's what we'll be using. And I mean, there's some gorgeous ones in there, isn't there? Really, really nice. So yeah, that's that. So let's get started. As I said, I'm using file folders, just ordinary manila file folders. And they measure, let me tell you, they measure 11 3/4 by the out. Well, where should I measure it to? I'll measure it to the fattest bit, to that bit there, 9.5. So I think they're American letter size actually, but it really, honestly, it doesn't matter because we're going to chop them up madly. So I've already sliced one of them up. And it's 6 1/4 that way, and well, it measures 9, but it doesn't matter. It matters not a jot actually what it measures. widthwise. So what we're going to do is I'm going to chop off this bit with a flap on because I don't need it at the moment. I bought my file folders from Amazon. You had to buy 100, so my collecting has begun again. Alright, I'll leave that like that for the time being. So I'm going to leave about 4 inches. Now some of this won't make sense to you until you see what's going on. So I'm going to leave about 4 inches. Doesn't have to be exact at all, but that's 4. And then I'm going to start to put my spine in. And you'd think it would be easier to use this as a spine, but this is marked every 1/4 of an inch, and that's not what I want. So I'm pretending that spine isn't even there, the manufactured spine. So that's my first line there. I'm just going to straighten that up with my ruler along the bottom and draw a line there. Don't draw it too heavy because you'll want to erase it. And then I'm going to go every 3/8 of an inch. Where's my little journal? And this is to put in the file folder bits. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 file foldery bits, so I need 5 of these. So I'm going up 3/8 of an inch, and I can just see that through my ruler where that is. Draw a line. So that's 2, and then 3/8 of an inch. I just was worried that 1/4, which is what Corey did hers at, wasn't going to give us enough to add charms and stuff like that, which I definitely want to do. So that's 3, then 3/8. Don't be put off by all this jiggery pokering around. It's, you know, once you've done it, it's done. 4 and 1 more at 3/8 of an inch. There we go. Right. Now that's the ones I need to apply my bits of file folder to. But I'm gonna go 3/8 of an inch again, which will mark the end of the spine. So that's where I need to crease it for the spine, and then I'm going to come the other way, mark 3/8 of an inch there. That looks all right, and that's there. So our spine is going to be from these 2 extremities. That's where we're going to crease it, score it, whatever you want to call it, for the spine. Right, so now we have to work out, well, it's painfully obvious I don't need all this bit flapping around. So I'll, what does that measure now? I've put that in. It measures just about 3 3/4-ish. So I'll cut that about there. It doesn't matter where you cut it really, to be honest. So I'm going to cut it at, well, that's 6 inches, but it might be a bit much, but we'll see. Keep all your scrappy bits, because they'll come in for tags and whatever. So just pretend that isn't there, and in the fullness of time you'll see that it really doesn't matter that it's there. Now, next thing to do is cut up some bits of file folder into, this is the remnant that I had after I cut my, that's what it looked like. I cut my 6 1/4 off, and this is what I've got left, which measures 5 1/2. So I need to, well, the whole journal is going to be 6 1/2 wide. The cover is 6 1/2. So I want the longest piece to be, this is straining my brain, about 6 inches. I don't want it to be any longer than 6 inches. So let's cut this at 5.5, and I am this time actually using the hinge. So I'm going to cut that at 5.5. Keep your remnants, and they don't actually have to be the same. They don't have to be the same height. So I'm just going to cut off 1/2 inch off the back one, and that makes that, oh, I'm going to cut 1 inch off actually, that makes that 4.5. I know you're probably going to have to watch this a few times, but really it doesn't matter what height you make them, what width you make them or anything, because we're going to be building from them. So, and you can put them down at the bottom, you can put them up at the top, or you can put them fairly centrally. This one I think I'll put centrally, and I'm going to sew down it. Now you sew with the other one that I had, and it's the second line that you're going to. This is the crease for the spine. This first line that you come to is the line that you want to sew your first file folder insert into. Just going to see, just got that really heavy mark there. I just want to get rid of that while I can. Okay, and I'm just going to use my mint tape. You could use paper clips, whatever. And I'm just going to hold that in place with the crease here on that line, the second line in. Hold it like that. Tape it down. And I'm going to take that to the sewing machine and sew down it. Okay, should go all right. See you in a sec. So there we are, I've got that sewn in. I'll just take the tape off. Make sure you use a low tack tape, otherwise it tears your paper. And fold that in. And fold that way. There we go. Lovely. So, yeah, that's great. That works perfectly well. Okay, so now we need to pop that away, put the next one in. So, I'll start on this new file folder. Have I got any more of anything? No, I haven't. So I'll start on this one. And I'll make it... Whoa. About 3 inches, I think. Let's go for 3. Why not? You can make it anything you like. There we go. And what length do I want it? Well, probably want 1 part. It's just going to be easier for me if I use that manufactured fold as the centre fold. So I'm going to make 1 6 inches and 1 4. So bring the crease along to 4. There we go. And I'm going to sew that in. But just, I might put it in towards the top, because in any journal you tend to build more at the bottom. You put your pockets in and stuff like that. So to kind of try and counterbalance that, I'll put this in towards the top. But I did find it difficult seeing that centre line in the light of the machine. It was too bright. So what I'm going to do is get a Frixion pen and just draw that line in, and then I can take it away anytime I like. So let's just draw down there. Oh, does the Frixion not want to work? I wouldn't be surprised. Oh yeah, there it does. Yeah, down the manufactured centre line. Just so I can see where I'm sewing. So so that's going to be the next one, going up about there, and then the next one, I don't know, I mean these are just arbitrary amounts. Let's make it 4, shall we? Make it 4 inches. That is not square, that bit there. Let's square that up. That's definitely not square. So let's go for 4 inches. And I'll cut them off. I'll cut one at 6. Or thereabouts. Yeah, it is 6, I think. And one quite small. Let's do 3. Where is 3? That line there. Don't know how I couldn't see that, but I couldn't. And one at 3, right. Getting some nice remnants for tags and stuff. And once again, I will draw down there with my friction, and that will just make life easier. So that's going to be the next one. So that's going to go on that one there. Once again, it doesn't have to be at the top or the bottom, it can be wherever you fancy. I might put that one central-ish. And the next one, well, we could, I don't know, whatever we've got left, I guess. So this is what I've got left, and it measures 4.5, that'll do me. And I'll cut it at 5. And 5.5. Why not? These are just measurements I'm making up out my head. There we go. And I'm going to have to go and get a new file folder because I'm running out. So that one goes there, that one goes there, this one goes there. So I only need one more. Just need one more, and then I can sew all of those in. File folders, here they are, in a big box. There we go. Right. So, what size shall I make this one? World's my oyster. I might make it, I could make it 6 and have a really big one, couldn't I? No, that's not. 5.25. No, I quite like the really skinny ones. Let's do 2. And then 5.5. And 4.5. Right, there we go. So, did I draw down that one? No. So I'm going to draw down these 2 and then take them to the machine and stitch them in, and then I shall see you when I've done that. Right, so I've got those all sewn in. And I'm just going to take my hot air tool and just get rid of the friction. Just disappears before your very eyes. There we go. Right, so I told you Mr. F was making some coffee stain paper. Let's just fold those over. And he has. Oh, the blue hasn't. So there we have it. So that's the actual pages block, if you like. So the next thing we're going to do is add the journaling with this gorgeous, look at it, coffee stain paper. It's just the right colour of coffee stain. He asked me what I wanted and I said not too dark because it's Christmas, isn't it? So this, I'm in England, so the paper is A4 sized. So it's 11 3/4 by 8 1/4. And I'm thinking if I fold that in half, that should be fine. That should fit into our journal nicely. Because that then measures 5 3/4. Yeah, in fact, that's perfect. It's perfect. But it's too tall because the journal is only 6 1/4 tall. So I think the thing to do is cut these at 6. And I need, because there's one going in at the start and then between every one. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 6 sheets. So let me just cut all of these to 6 inches tall and then I'll be back. Right, so there we are. I've cut those off. Please don't throw your remnants away. They're really good for backing things or making fold bits of journaling, all that sort of stuff. So I think the thing to do is just fold these in half. What Corey did in her journal was she was making a wildflowers journal, and in each of these spaces where we're going to sew the journaling, she actually sewed in. So it was the Observer's book of flowers, and she sewed hers in there. But I'm gonna stick with journaling because I think for Christmas it's a good thing. So I'm just going to fold these over in half. As accurately as I can. And see what that looks like. That's going to go there, like that. Because we can decorate these as well. They don't have to be just plain journaling. In fact, they will not be just plain journaling. I don't know whether or not to leave that first one out. I might. And put the first journaling one in there. I think that might look better, you know. Might do that. Okay. Right, so the thing to do is the same again. In this space that you've got here between your file folder, that's where we're going to sew the card, the journaling space. So I showed you in the other one how you can hand sew it. I hand sewed all of these in with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, each and every single one. So it can be done. If you don't like sewing on your machine or you haven't got a machine or whatever, definitely can be done by hand. But I would recommend that you tape it or put a safety pin in it or something, because it's going to be quite easy to go off the rails here. So where's my ruler? So I'm just going to draw down that line. Let's just make that a little bit more obvious. It's quite difficult when you get to the sewing machine to see, because the light off the sewing machine is really bright. There we go. Right, so what I'm going to do is, have I got any? Any paper clips anywhere? I know I have. I've seen them already this morning. Yeah, there's a couple. Come out. Come out. Come out. So I'm going to take this. I want it to be between those two. Don't fall. Ugh. I want it to be sort of 1/8 of an inch in from the top and 1/8 of an inch in from the bottom. And I'm just going to put a paper clip there, just so it doesn't move. Like that. That was a bit of an effort, wasn't it? And then one at the bottom, just to keep it in place. You can put clips or anything you like, I just like paper clips. And that, I'm going to go and sew that, and I'll bring it back to you and we'll see what it looks like. It might be all wrong, so I'll be with you back in a minute. Right, well, it's stitched. Let's cut the ends off and see what it looks like. Take the clips off. Okay, so that should go there. Oh, what a stupid woman. I've sewn that onto the file folder. What sort of ninny would do that? Okay, I'll unpick it. I'll be back to you. Well, I've unpicked it and you can see what I've done. I've folded this piece down for some reason and sewn it to there. I've no idea why. No idea. Don't even ask me. I haven't got a clue. What I want to do is aim for the gap between these, this gap here. And I'm telling myself more than you that that's where this needs to be attached to. What a stupid thing to do, but never mind. I don't think we've done any long-term damage. So if you look at the top where the lines are, get it midway between them. Like that. And put your clips on. And let's hope this one's all right. I mean, you know, I don't mind showing you the mistakes that I make because we're all human. We all make mistakes. And I don't want you to think when you make a mistake that you have to throw your hands up in horror and go, oh no, that's me finished, and chuck the lot in the bin. But, you know, I wouldn't like to keep making mistakes. That would just be bad. So I'll go and sew this and then let's see what's happened to that. Right, I've cut the ends off but I haven't actually looked at it. So this is the moment of truth. Yes, that's perfect. Now, if you do something similar, don't worry about those perforations there because we're going to be decorating it, so I can make them a little smaller by just rubbing on the back anyway. Oh, here's Mr. F. Hello.
Hello, it's the paparista.
Ah.
As opposed to the barista.
Well, I've used everything barring 2 pieces, so ooh, lovely. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. Thanks, Mr. F. You may award yourself a curly whirly.
Oh, thank you.
Well, we haven't.
Any?
No, we haven't got any, but you can award yourself some. Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
Right, so that actually is okay. I think that's okay. Looks pretty okay to me. So what I'm going to do is carry on each of these spaces, putting a piece of our journaling in. So I'll see you when they're all done. Fingers crossed they go okay. Aha, I've just popped on to say that what I meant to do was ink around these pieces. Not the file folder, that'll be fine, but ink around the journaling pieces before I stuck them in because it'd be much easier to do. So I'm going to do my best to do that one, and then the rest I'm going to ink around before I sew in. Oh dear, we'll get there in the end. See you in a sec. Right, so that's all my journaling sewn in, I think. And I think it's all right. Looks alright. I haven't done anything daft this time. Yeah, okay. Let's fold that over like that. Okay, I'm happy with that. That looks nice. Looks like quite a nice journaling block there. Okay, so now what we want to do is just score in the... I can't believe I stitched that to there. It's such a stupid thing to do. But you know, it's done, so what can I do about it? Nothing. It'll be covered, so don't worry. So now what I need to do is score in the edge of the spine, but I'm just thinking I don't think I need that to be quite that big, because I did it that size because I was going to put journaling down there, but I don't think it needs journaling. So I'm going to make it a little smaller. I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch off it, which means it's going to be 1/4 of an inch. If I can see the line, that is to say. Yeah, there it is, and there it is. Let's just draw that in. That's going to be our score line for our spine. And I don't need that other line, so let's just erase that. There we go, and I'm going to do the same at the back. I'm just going to use that while it's there to come in just 1/4 of an inch from it. You'd think I would have worked all this out, wouldn't you, with the prototype? But no, actually, I didn't. So there we are, that's the line that we want. And I'll erase the other line. Well, that's a bit of a... There we go. So I've just left the line that I want to score. So I'll get my little scoreboard out. And I'm just going to put that line on the number 3 and that line on the 3. It's 3 inches. It's not like a number 3. It's 3 inches. And I'm just going to score down there. Whoa. What's going on here? No, it's obviously not straight. That's it. There we go. And that will naturally want to fold that way, so let's fold it that way to start with, and then let's fold it back. Lovely. That's okay. And same on the other side. I'm just going to line that up on 3. Just because I've darkened that line down, just, well, expressly for this purpose really, or anything else like that. So that's that there. And let's just score down there. Ooh. There we go. That's it. Once again, that will want to fold that way, so fold it that way and then fold it back. Okay, so now we have our spine. Perfect. And you'll see one of the back covers is that and the other is this. Doesn't matter, don't worry about that. It can be any size you like at this stage. So what we need to do now is cover this spine, give it a bit of stability, glue it in, which will make everything stronger and much more manageable. So let's do that. So let's get down to the papers. Which paper are we going to use? The very first paper. Oh, which shall it be? It's always exciting, isn't it, opening a new paper pack? It really is. Honestly, I must have opened, I don't know how many paper packs in my life, but it's still tingly when you open them. Right, let's have a look and see what we've got. Oh, that's nice. Buffalo check. Gingerbread nuts. Gingerbread pudding. It's a whole page of gingerbread, which I love. That's nice. Oh, look at that. That's so pretty. It's going to be a hard choice, guys. A hard choice. The photograph, which goes landscape way, so that's not any help to me. That's nice and middling. I'll leave that out. Stripy candy stripes and music. It's a bit too bright for my taste, to be honest. That's pretty. Pretty. Calendar there. I don't really want to cut into that because I like the months. Wood. We're upside down. Christmas souvenir and green plaid. I'm sure they're the wrong way up. I'm sure they go that way. I'm sure I had this discussion last year. Which way did candy canes go? How on earth am I ever going to decide? This is new to me. I haven't even opened it and had a little peep inside. So all the pages are new to me. Oh, that's gorgeous, isn't it? That would make a beautiful little book. Just fold it along there. Another photograph, landscape one. World famous candles. I love that as well. I love that. I love it. I'm going to leave that out because I really do love it. Oh, there's some absolutely beautiful pages in this one. Oh, look at that. I love that. It's beautiful. Beautiful. There's so much goodness going on. That's nice. I have a job for that page. And the crackle on the back. Candles. Bingo. Confectionery. And a brick wall. Okay. So that's all right then. I've whittled my choice down to two. Either this one, which I really do like, or this one. How am I supposed to decide? I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. I'm really liking this tartan one. Let's do the tartan. Let's just do it. So, just to double check, this measures 6 1/4. So for my spine, I need a piece that's 6 1/4, and I'll do it by the whole width of this, which is 6 inches. So I need to trim this off at 6 1/4. I'll make my mark on this so it'll be a bit easier to see. 6 1/4. Trim that off. Oh, I'm pleased with those backdrops for this year. They are really nice. Lovely. A quality remnant, that one, isn't it? Real high quality remnant. So what does our spine measure? Our spine measures, well, 2 inches, touch over 2 really, to be honest with you. It is just a touch over 2. So fairly centrally on this, and it's 6 inches, so it doesn't fit on my little board, but I've still, 3 is half of what this measures. So I'm going to go to 2 and score a line. Should have done that the other way. So I'm scoring at 2. And then I'm going to score at 4 1/8, just because it's just a little smidge bigger than 2 inches. Then I'm just going to fold those in like that. This is going to be our spine cover to hide all the unsightly stitches, whether you've machined or hand sewn. It's still nice to hide your stitches, I think. And do we have a back and a front? I think that was the back, wasn't it? Was this the front? I think so. So that is going to go over there like that. It fits just perfectly. And I'm going to glue it down everywhere. Yeah, I think that's all right. Yeah, okay, so collal. Need to get my strength to fill my collal up. It's getting low. You could stitch this if you want, but I would just stitch the spine section actually, because there's going to be something going over it. Not the spine bit itself, but the other bit. It's hard to see where I put the glue on this. There we go. Right. So I don't think there's a top and bottom to the tartan, particularly. So let's just take the journal block in one hand, the spine in the other, and marry them up. Let's see if you can get them to meet at the front. And that doesn't want to meet there, does it? Let's just push that down a bit. There we go. So just flatten that out a bit and just press that down as well as you can. Make sure it's pretty square. That looks lovely to me. And there's our spine covered. That's pretty nice, isn't it? That's a nice start. It's pretty straight as well with that line on the tartan. It's really straight, yeah, that's good. Excellent. So that's that. That needs to dry before we start mauling it around. Okay. I'm going to give it 5 minutes and then I'll come back. Right, I think that's probably... I don't think it's had 5 minutes strictly, but it's had something like that. So I've laid out another couple of journals. What do you call these? File folders. And I'm just going to trim them at 6.5. Well, I'm going to trim one at 6.5 because all I can think about is one at a time. I can't necessarily think of two. I think they're fairly straight, so I need to mark 6.5. Is that right? Is what I'm doing right? It's 6.25, isn't it? 6.25. See? Could have got that wrong. 6.25. So let's trim that off. There. Right, now what we're going to do is extend this to the right length, and we want it overall to measure 6.5. It measures, that bit on the back actually measures 6.25, but all the journaling measures about 5 3/4. So 6.5 I think is going to be fine. or would I rather do it to 6 1/4? That would make it square and not give me much room to build out on these ones. So no, I'll do it at 6 1/2. So what I want, I've kept the tab on this one, and I want that to go sort of there, and that's going to be my pocket. So that's going to go there. Then I want overall this to measure 6 1/2. So I haven't found a neater way of doing this. I'm sure you can probably come up with something that's a bit more elegant than this, but I haven't managed to so far. So this is what I'm doing. So I'm measuring from the corner of, where the spine starts, and I'm measuring 6 1/2, which is there. Okay. So I need to put a score line down there. Just there, I think. I've all fingers. Oh, come on. I've all fingers and thumbs today. So there we go. So that's going to fold over like that. She's just going to strengthen this really, and then it's going to come back and sit just into there. So where do I need this to be again? Let's just hold that there. See where 6 1/2 is. It does strike me as being very inelegant, this, but like I say, I haven't thought of anything better. So hold that there, and I want to get that to 6 1/2. So it needs to come in a little bit. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's not absolutely, I mean, it really doesn't. I wonder if I could do it that way. Would that be a better way of doing things? Yeah. Put that there. Move that to 6 1/2. Actually, I want it just less than 6 1/2 because I want it to just come inside there. So that's there. That's on 6 1/2. So I want to cut it about there. Right. So you'll see, hopefully, when I've done this, that it all comes together. If you think all this is a bit of a faff and you can't really be bothered, then just make a conventional journal, and you can decorate your conventional journal along with me. I just like things that are a bit of a faff, to be honest. So let's just try this, where it's going to go. Oh, red thread. It's going to go that way. And that's going to come in almost to the crease line, like that, and just measure it to make sure that's 6 1/2. No, it wants to come out a bit to there. Okay, so that's 6 1/2 there. So let's just check that the top is 6 1/2. Also, that doesn't look straight, but I'll deal with that later. So from the hinge to the edge of that folded paper needs to be 6 1/2. That's where it is. So let's put a dot or something there that we know where we're aiming for. 6 1/2, yeah. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, so just there, that's where I need to stick it. Good gracious me. Good job I'm filming this, because that would have been a lot worse than good gracious me. So that's where I need to stick this to. Right. Lovely. So I need to put glue around there, and that's going to be a pocket. So I need to start my gluing again. When that's there, I'm just looking where it lands on the back. It lands here, so that's where I need to glue. I need to glue all of that and then just the edges of this. Why did I think this was a good idea? Because Corey made it look so much easier, that's why. There we go, and then I'll use the collar for the larger area. So just up there, and then all of this section. Lovely. Right, let's see. Let's go play. So this comes to there. So let's get that on square. Square, square, square everywhere. I think so. And then, oh, come on, Dawn. Please don't do this to me. So a square, let's stick it on. It might be a bit of an idea, mightn't it? Fold that over, then this comes all the way over and goes there. And I don't think that was cut very square, or the file folder wasn't square. And let's just measure that and see. We have actually got 6.5 inches. No, we haven't. We're at 6 3/8. Yeah, 6 3/8. I'm all right with that. That's okay. It's still going to cover everything that we need it to cover. Press those in. Right, so I'm just going to have to take my scissors to this bit here. Can you see it's just not straight? I think sometimes the file folders aren't straight. There we go. So that's that. We've got our little pocket here. Well, it's a big pocket. So yeah, that's that. Okay, let's move swiftly onto the back. You might have to watch this several times. And that's my bad teaching. It's not you. It's definitely me. So that measures 6 1/8. So let's cut ourselves another bit of file folder off. That's no good for the job. I'm just going to trim off the edge there because I'm not altogether convinced it's square. Yeah, I think it's not square. So I want 6 1/4, which I have to measure on here. Trim that off. There we go. Nearly there, guys. This is the last bit. So I could put a pocket on the back as well if I wanted. That might be quite nice. That's way too wide. What's going on there? That's 6 1/4. It's nearly 6 1/2. What's going on? I've obviously measured it incorrectly. No, it's 6 1/4 there. But here, it's nearly 6 1/2. It's one of those days. Let's just measure, get this right. It's all right down at the bottom, and I can see it's not all right at the top. Yeah, it goes from nothing to that. So, yeah, I think that definitely was my bad with my cutting. So yeah, the question I was asking is, do we want to put a pocket on there or not? What did I do with this one? No, I just made it cream all the way around. So let's trim that off then. Let's go for the sort of square look finish. We can always put ribbon on it or lace or something if we choose to. So I need this to be, well, when it's finished it needs to be 6 1/3. 6 1/3. 6 3/8. Oh my goodness me. 6 3/8, which is there. So that would take me right up to the end, but I want to come in about 1 inch. So let's go to 5 3/8 and let's trim that off. There we go. Let's have a look and see what that's going to look like. I think it's going to go to about there. Let's just measure and check. So I want it to be 6. And 3/8. Yeah, so it's going to just in a little bit. That'll be fine. That will be fine. So from the spine, from where the spine is, I'm going to hold my ruler down, and I want 6 3/8. So I'm going to make that factory fold come to 6 3/8, which is perfect. Is that right? Is what I'm doing right? Yeah, it is. Just second guessing myself every moment now. So that's 6 3/8 where the factory thing is. I've got about 1 inch and a little bit there. So then I need to bring this in by, where's the crease? Where's the spine? There. 6 1/4. So I need to cut this off at 6 1/4. 6 1/4. Maybe a touch less actually. About there. Let's trim that off. Lovely. Now that should work. So that's going to go to there like that. The whole thing's going to measure 6 3/8. So let's hold that there until we get to 6 3/8. So right on the spine and right to the edge Just a little touch more. That's it. That's it there. So let's just make a mark there. With the white pen, then I can got a chance of seeing it. There we are. Right, so that should be our journal built. Needs a light out in a darkened room. There's got to be an easier way to do this, but it's just not coming to me. So, I guess it's a smaller bit that needs to go here. So, let's just lay that like that for the moment. Get that up to the mark that we marked. Make sure it's straight, top and bottom. I think that's okay. Make sure it's glued down. Fold that over, get out the way. Fold that down, it's perfect. Perfectly perfect. It's worth all the flapping around. So that's the front, that's the back. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. So let's just press that down. So this isn't a pocket or anything. You can put anything you like on it, but as it stands at the minute, it's not a pocket. So do I need to trim that up anywhere? No, it's perfectly square. Wow. So that is our journal made. What a performance. I'm pretty sure that that was like the worst teaching job I've ever done. And I'm sorry about that. But there's quite a lot of moving parts in this, isn't there? So that's it. And then when you open it, you've got all your file foldery bits. My jumper coming to pieces that we're going to decorate, and all our journaling that we're also going to decorate. So yeah, that's it. If you wanted to, you could just make an ordinary journal the way that we always do, and just add these into it. You don't need to go to all that fuss and palaver with the covers. It's not really necessary. I just kind of like the idea of having this pocket here, which isn't going back very far. I think I've glued it shut, but it goes back that far, which is fine. So that's that. I'm going to leave that there for today. Let you puzzle over that, scratch your head, as I did several times. And hopefully see you back really soon when you will have your version of this. Be it that you've made it like an ordinary journal and just sewn your things in, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I can't really see why I did it the way I did it, to be honest. It was just a lot of fuss for no real return. So, yeah, that's my advice. Make an ordinary journal and stitch those in. But either way up, I will see you very soon when we'll start the decorating. So thanks for sticking with me. Have a go. You don't necessarily have to have a go at this particularly. You can still stitch all your pieces onto a false spine and then put them into an ordinary journal like we would ordinarily do. So I'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Bye.